What's going on, guys? Alex here and welcome to Monster Motors. So it's been a little while, but I've been a bit busy, but we're making a comeback this year. And throughout the past, I think it's been 10 months or something like that since my last video. It's crazy. But since then, the S15 has had quite a lot of changes done to it. First of all, it's not orange anymore. It's well, colour's called Avery Satin Roaring Thunder, but I like to call it Poor Man's Midnight Purple 3, because the R34 in the Midnight Purple is my dream car, but realistically I don't see myself owning it anytime soon, so this colour is the closest I can get to it. They do a gloss variant as well, but I'm just a sucker for matte and satin finishes, so that's why I went for this colour, and I absolutely love it. You'll also notice that when it was orange, it had a livery all over it. I went a lot more subtle this time, so I've retained my embossed bonnet, I've retained the embossed roof, but I've also done an embossing on the side doors, and I've just kept it minimal, keeping the sponsors and partners of the car visible, whereas my company, I've sort of gone for the subtle embossed look. But that's not the only thing that's been done to it. So today we're going to go through everything that I've done so far and basically how the car is standing at the moment. So without further ado, let's get on. So if we start with the exterior, minimal thing, brand new tyres on, because I took a little trip down to Mexico and this happened. I mean, you can't really blame me for that, but so the next thing is I upgraded the brakes front and back. As I've always said, I really did not like the stock brakes. They just didn't feel like they stopped enough. So on the fronts, we've got the K-Sport 8-pot 330 mils. These were supplied through C Performance / CUK. The guys over there, Adam and his team, they're amazing. They always help me out and they always come through really quickly for me. On the rears, there's a guy on one of the forums that sells the kits. So these are R34 GTT calipers, and they are the whole kit. So new pads, new discs, all off the R34. I've painted them orange, put a little like carbon fiber Nissan sticker over it, just so that it sort of ties in with the front, as the K-Sports have that lovely sort of carbon fiber plaque. So I thought, you know what, that'll just tie it in together. So you might see it, you might not. Underneath there's a strobe light going on. I fitted underglow all round underneath. I fitted it inside, so I've got it down in the footwells, in the back, in the boot as well. It's flashing away there, but I'll probably overlay a video of it at night time so you can see it a lot better. What else have we done on the exterior? So I've painted all of this gloss black. It was in that sort of matte black, matte greyish finish, which I really didn't like. So I ran the car wingless for a little bit actually. So I'll probably stick a photo of it here. So thought about trying to run it wingless, but I mean, I liked it, it looks great, but I just missed having that wing. So if we come around to the front, the major difference is these. So they're the 326 blue tinted lenses. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that the lenses were completely like fucked, pretty much. They were just ruined, they were flaking off, the lacquer was coming off, everything. It was terrible. So these were one of my top priorities, and I'm so glad that I've done them. It just looks so much better. It completely transforms the car. So I think that's pretty much it for the outside. Oh, and of course fitted a brand new wind deflector, as the original one got broken and they're stupidly expensive, but I managed to get them at a relatively decent price from Australia. So yeah, that was great. So that's pretty much all the outside updates. So I knew I would forget something. So the last thing on the exterior, you won't actually see it. So that's where one of our new partners, ZV Line, came on board. The car has been completely ceramic coated. So bodywork, windows and wheels, everything's got zirconia ceramic coat all over. He came down a couple months ago now, once the wrap was freshly done and done all the ceramic coating, so that way the car didn't really see the road before then, so it literally got wrapped then ceramic coated, so that way it was all perfect. And yeah, I'm gonna overlay a video of what the ceramic looks like, well, in action, as we pour a cup of water over it. Apologies for it being portrait, as I think I recorded it like that. If I didn't, then ignore the apology. But yeah, that was quite a nice little thing that we done, because it just makes cleaning this car so much easier. Like, when I'm feeling lazy, I will literally just sort of go over it with a jet wash and it'll just get the majority of the dirt off, so it already looks cleaner than it was. But even when I just sort of go over it with the mitts, it just all cleans so much easier. And at night time, well, not at night time, when it's raining, the windscreen clears itself. It's just great. If you haven't already got it on your car, I would suggest looking into it. Give ZV Line a message, tell him that we sent you, so Monster Motors, and he'll look after you. He's a top-notch lad. He does sort of full detailing, paint protection, paint correction. Paint protection is what I do. So he does all like the paint correcting, so if your paintwork's all ruined and whatnot, he can sort all that out. So yeah, give him a shout and tell him that we sent you. So if we start off with the boot, I built a false floor. My sub used to be up on that shelf there, but the boot lid, well, not the boot lid, the boot floor was always a bit useless. So what I did was I built this out of MDF, made a hole for the sub, had the battery relocated to the boot, so I've got a lot more space in the engine bay now. The amp's still up there, and of course the not a sub brace, the big gay wing brace made by Fast Road Conversion. So this is all solid, the wing doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the boot. If we head on inside, so I did have the quick release steering wheel beforehand, but I've changed it to a purple NRG one. If we decide to focus, there we go. As I got a new steering wheel, oh, see you later. I managed to get hold of one of the Adam LZ Grip Royal steering wheels, so I love that. This is probably one of my favourite purchases on the car. So at one point I did strip the interior and put the buckets in, but I didn't really get on with it. So stock interiors come back in. You can see some of the other lights up there. The Defi gauges, I can never remember if I've done a video on them before or not, but I've replaced the stock boost gauge with a Defi one, which goes all the way up to 2 bar. Then we've got a water temp, oil temp, and oil pressure. Just because obviously the car doesn't really tell you anything. You've just got like minimal. All you had was the stock boost gauge and sort of like engine temps, and that was it. But I wanted to have a little bit more information just to make sure that, like, for example, if the car was overheating or anything, that I would be able to see it straight away, or if there was any issues, sort of these would give me a rough idea if anything dodgy is going on. So these I'm well happy with, and down here we've got the controller where I can set all like the levels for the warnings, so if it over boosts, if the oil pressure is too high, low, and again with the oil and water temperature if they go too high. I've replaced the head unit with just a standard double DIN one. Well, not standard, it's a Kenwood, it's lovely, and it works well with the JL speakers that I've got in the front and the back, and obviously the sub. So I think that was pretty much it for the inside as well. I've got my Mishimoto gear knob. I know I'm probably forgetting many things, but yeah, it's all sort of slowly starting to come together. Actually, what I'll do is I'll open up the engine bay as well, just so I can show you where that battery was. If we can find the latch, there we go. So yeah, that's where the battery used to be. As you can see, we've now got so much more room for activities. So I've still not got around to tidying up the engine bay, but what I want to do is paint the rocker cover and yeah, just sort of give it a good once over and just sort of tidy and neaten it up. And actually, I've just remembered the main big thing that I did, I've just in the strut tops, is I have fitted BC Racing coilovers all round. So that would have been my last video that I uploaded, us actually fitting it, but that was done a while back. But my God, what a difference compared to the tines that the car came on. They were just shocking and just bouncing all over the place. This, I've got so much more, like, I can go from hard to soft. So if I'm taking it around the track, stick it all the way on hard and it's perfect. But for driving around the roads here, going to the shop and back, it's just great. So I just stick it on soft. It's just like a normal car. Don't really notice anything too different. So I'm just going to walk around the car again because the color change on this is just amazing. I love it. I'm never going to get bored of this. It's one of my favorite colors. You can see it here. So you got like the blue tones going into purples, into the orange and golds up there. It's just, this is by far my favorite thing. So the car is exactly how I've dreamt it to be. And cheeky little shout out, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and follow us on Instagram for all the photos and updates of what's going on. So yeah, that's pretty much it for updates wise on the S15. I've got a few more updates coming. So there's a couple garage updates. We've picked up a new car a couple months ago, but we're getting a little bit of work done to that. But in a couple weeks time we'll have the car back and we'll do a video on that. Make sure to stay tuned because I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's more than twice the horsepower of that, so it is good fun. Then I've got another car, well, I've got a van which I now use that as a daily rather than the S15, so I'll do an update video on that, as well as I've got a caddy van and it's got a few mods done to it. It's quite nice and tasty. I'll go sort of through my plans that I'm thinking about doing with it. And got a new car coming probably in a month or two, and something's happening with this. So I did shoot a video here 2 years ago with the Audi. That might be a little bit of a giveaway. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you haven't already, and drop a comment with what you'd like to see more on this channel, as this year we're just going all out. We're going to stay on top of the content, keep the videos coming out. We're going to do sort of one of the videos, well, one of the series that I'm trying to do this year is going to be a budget track car build. So that will be coming in about a month or two, and we're going to get started on that. And yeah, so we just want to try and keep some fresh content coming, like 2 or 3 videos a week. That's the plan. And yeah, we've got so much stuff coming and plenty more events that we're going to this year as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.